Hey everyone, we got some more big news for Tesla stock investors today as the company had to recall thousands of Cybertrucks for an issue to fix. Now, the bigger news here, in my opinion, is not the recall. Nearly all automakers face a recall some point or another. Some automakers face recalls multiple times per year. This is just the course of doing business. If it's a an issue that continues and persists all the time, then that would be something else. But for Tesla, their cars, they haven't had to have these types of recalls. Most of their recalls have been updates, software updates they can do without people having to return the cars physically. So I think there's a bigger issue here, and I'll talk about that in this video. I think it's interesting, so let's jump into it.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
All right, so the official report from Bloomberg said that Tesla recalled 3,878 Cybertruck pickups to rework or replace accelerator pedals that can dislodge and cause the vehicle to unintentionally accelerate, increasing the risk of a crash. Now, before this report came out, there were posts and other news outlets saying that people who had ordered a Tesla truck and they had delivery dates confirmed were getting notices from Tesla that their deliveries would be canceled or delayed and pushed out further. And now we get a better understanding of why those reports were coming out. It could have been those issues. They wanted to fix them before they delivered those Cybertrucks to customers, which is a prudent thing to do, right? You don't want to deliver it to the customer if you know it has an issue and it's going to need to be brought back in next week or in a couple of days. So that's a prudent move. People should be happy that Tesla took that cautious step to keep those trucks, fix them before they deliver them to customers. But I teased a little bit at what the bigger issue is here, and it's in plain sight here, the number of Cybertrucks, 3,878. So here we are, April 20th, more than 4 months into the year. And of course, this is not the precise number of how many Cybertrucks that Tesla has sold so far, but it's a pretty good approximation, right? If you need to recall Cybertrucks and you're recalling 3,900 of them, that's probably how many they've delivered so far. And we're almost almost 5 months into the year. That's a pace of less than 1,000 per month, less than 12,000 for the year. Now, I know Tesla mentioned that it was going to be a longer ramp than usual. Let me share with you Tesla's comments on the Cybertruck. So Tesla said at Gigafactory Texas, they began production of the Cybertruck and delivered the first units to customers. Here's the key part here. We expect the ramp of Cybertruck to be longer than other models given its manufacturing capacity. So it could be that it's going to be very back half heavy in terms of their production and delivery and sales for the Cybertruck in 2024. That's understandable. They already gave us a heads up about that. But look at their capacity. Tesla has Cybertruck capacity enough to produce over 125,000 units. And I initially thought that they would approach that number for 2024. And the reasoning behind my prediction for over 100,000 units of Cybertruck sales was Tesla's willingness to slash prices to increase sales. I thought since they have 125,000 capacity and they want this to be a success and they want to produce more units so that they can in the future sell FSD and all other types of software upgrades, that they would slash prices to sell the Cybertruck. But given the number we got so far, 3,900, they're way behind my initial prediction. If you don't remember, I made this video giving my shocking Tesla Cybertruck prediction for 2024, and it is a bit shocking now because they're nowhere near my estimates here. I did a scenario analysis up here where I looked at 3 different scenarios, Tesla producing 125,000 units because that's the maximum they had, 100,000 units and 75,000 units. And my conclusion was that they would fall somewhere around the 100,000 unit mark for 2024 in Cybertruck production. And it looks like I'm going to be way off unless the second half of the year is exponentially better than what we've seen so far in the first 4 months of the year at just 4,000. Means they would need to do like, 90,000 in the second between now and the end of the year. More than 90,000. That seems highly unlikely, although it could potentially do that. It seems highly unlikely. Another data point that had me thinking their Cybertrucks were going better than initially expected, or better than most had expected, is the number they highlighted on April 2nd. So they gave us their production and delivery numbers, and they break down Model 3 and Model Y, and then other models. So this is the Model S, the Model X, and included in here is the Cybertruck. So they noted 17,000 deliveries in the first quarter. And if you compare that to what they did in the previous quarter of just Model S and Model X, because last year that's the only two they had, Cybertruck wasn't included here, that was 10,695. So I looked at it, 17,000 compared to 11,000. The difference could have been roughly 6,000 units of the Cybertruck. But so far, what I'm seeing here is roughly 4,000 units, and this is even a few weeks after this number here. So it's looking like less than 10,000 units. If we were to try and get a more rough estimate of how many Cybertrucks Tesla has sold year to date, it looks like less than 10,000 units they've delivered, actually. Maybe they've sold more and they have yet to deliver them. But in terms of delivery, it looks like less than 10,000 units for the first quarter of the year. And that's on pace for less than 1,000 per month. So it's not looking good so far for the Cybertruck. The rest of the year could be better. It could go better. But so far, year to date, not looking good. And then the recall is not going to help, right? All the publicity around the Cybertruck having issues. People that were on the fence now are going to be like, I don't know. Maybe I'll hold off on this because it's not a cheap truck. It's on the higher end of prices for trucks. And if you're having an issue already, and people are usually hesitant to come out and purchase a brand new model because the newer models are the ones that typically have issues that haven't been worked out yet. And so this isn't going to help their sales of this Cybertruck. So I thought that was the bigger issue here in this news release, the recall of 3,900 Cybertrucks. Sure, every automaker faces recalls. So that wasn't my main thing to think about when I saw this headline. When I saw this headline, the first thing I thought was, that's all they've shipped out? 3,900? That's not very much in terms of how much they've delivered versus the capacity they have. Remember, they have capacity for over 125,000 units. And Elon Musk has kind of talked about by the end of next year, or at equilibrium, at full scale, once they've reached full scale production, they hope to sell roughly 250,000 or 250,000 units of the Cybertruck annually. So this is way, way behind that pace. So that's the number that stood out to me, not really the recall. So interesting to be sure. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts, what you're thinking about the Cybertruck and sales and how it relates to the ramp up of the Cybertruck. Did you know that over 90% of the people that watch my channel are not subscribed? It'll really help support my channel if you hit that subscribe button. And oh, by the way, one of the benefits of being subscribed is that I take requests from subscribers more often than I do from non-subscribers. So if you prefer that benefit, please subscribe to the channel.